Good morning. Greetings and salutations, everybody out there in YouTube land. I'm your host once again, Dan Thornton. I want to thank you all for joining me here today, Saturday, Lions Talk Live Morning Show edition. And you know what? We got a couple different topics to talk about today. They might say it's the off season for some, but not here. And for the Dew crew in the Lions Talk Live Morning Show, we're working overtime to try to make sure we keep everybody up to date on what's going on with Detroit Lions. As you could probably tell from the thumbnail leading into this video, Brodric Martin, somebody talked about as maybe being a potential bust by, let's be honest, some of the fan base last year. A rookie, and by Lions standards, who doesn't come in and play right away, must be a bust. But it could be that maybe Martin just needed a little bit more time to develop. Perhaps Sam Laporta, Gibbs, Campbell, whoever else you want to throw on the list, we're just ready to go as rookies, where Brodric Martin maybe just need a little bit more refining. As we all know, he was coming from a little bit lower level of play, had all the physical traits, everything you could ask for in a player. But as we've talked about and a number of times on the show, needed a little bit more technique development, needed to, this, that, and the other thing. And we're going to talk about that, plus the salary cap today. It's come out, some new numbers on it. Got to make sure I've got my phone because I got my information for that on the phone. And we're going to get into all that here throughout the show this morning. So real quick, before we get into the meat of it, hey, if you haven't yet subscribed to Lions Talk Live, pretty pleased with Mountain Dew on top, consider doing so. We are roughly, 30-some subs away from hitting 6,700. So if you could help out that would be super awesome. Also, if you enjoy the video and everything we do here on the show, hit the thumbs up button. As you all know by now, it helps the channel grow. We try to get each video to roughly 200 to 300 likes. Last but never least, I am a realtor. When I'm not being a coach or a scout or a YouTuber, I'm a realtor. Enjoy doing it exponentially. Going to show a bunch of houses today and tomorrow. Try to help some people out with some life decisions. And if you want somebody who's going to work on your behalf, who's done it for, since the early 90s, who's got, information on the do's and don'ts with houses, why you should pay attention to the soil quality around your house. Does your house, the foundation of the property, have clay under it or on the sides? Why does that matter? Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Details like this. Then give me a call or shoot me a text. You see the number on the screen, 269-998-2384. Even got a client looking for a sustainable living house, or a land. So that'll be an interesting one, as we got to make sure a lot of things go into play if you're going to live and live only on that particular land. All right. So let's get into the show. Lions Talk Live. Hey, Brodric Martin, as you can see from the thumbnail, we all, or at least most of us, probably know that he's been taken under the wing of Aleem McNeil. And you can see the impact that's made. We all know how much Aleem McNeil changed physically. He's morphed his body from the day he was drafted by the Detroit Lions in the 3rd round, came on up. What do you know? Brodric Martin's also drafted in the 3rd round. Now, Aleem McNeil, when he came to the Detroit Lions were it's probably fair to say, barren talent team. Very little going on, very little returning talent from the prior regime that wanted to be retained, at least by the current regime. And you know what? McNeil was able to step in and not really have a whole lot of people oppose him from getting on the field. That's not so much the case with Brodric Martin. Brodric Martin, has had to face an uphill battle a little bit more than McNeil, and you could say Levi Onwuzurike, among other players, because the talent level now for the Detroit Lions is pretty good. Martin's been allowed to be brought along, developed, and at least what we can see from the Lions' own workout videos. And I want to give my brother Tim credit for sending me over this video, this photo that you see in the thumbnail of Martin working out. You can see how his chest is built, how his arms have changed, and how he's really slimmed down. I'm guessing he's no longer 350 pounds. It would be my assumption he's probably closer to, 330, 320, somewhere at least around there. Maybe I'm way off. Maybe he's still 350, but whatever it is, he looks like a vastly transformed individual, physically, etc. So I'm expecting this year, and I know we've talked about on the show for a while, that he's going to have a wee bit of a breakout year. So let's get your guys' thoughts on this. Let's see what you guys have to say, Brodric Martin, and then probably about the bottom of the hour, we'll jump into the salary cap stuff. All right, JDC, good morning, all. Good morning, JDC. Bo, good morning, Dew crew. I hope this this good news with Brodric, Superdome or bust. I think it is, man. I think, we all could see in preseason games, whatever, and the little bit he got in last year, he's an athlete without question. Anybody who watches him go through stuff, kid's got abilities you can't teach. And that's why I think we need to focus on with this coaching staff and scouting department for the Detroit Lions. They're willing in the mid to late rounds to roll the dice, I guess you'd say, on a kid who's got all the athleticism in the world, or the measurables. As long as they have the right personality traits, they're taking a shot at that guy and saying, hey, we've got enough faith, and the guys on our sidelines, the coaches, to now take that piece of clay and mold it into what we think it can be. It could be that Brodric Martin really is going to be a breakout player this year. I know earlier in the month or whatever we talked about who's our picks for breakout players. I don't think a lot of us had Brodric Martin on there, but I think most of us did identify the fact that he's got some real abilities as far as, mass, speed, agility, strength, etc. And if that photo is anything like what we potentially will see in these preseason games, I think Brodric Martin might really be a breakout player candidate, especially you're talking about him as a rotational piece with DJ Reader, with, Ali McNeil, among other people. Just another person can go after it and get after it. All right, Damian, what do you got? Well, what up, crew? Question mark. Martin looks way slimmed up. Yes, I would agree with that. And damn, yeah, 100%. He looks like he's identified what the coaches probably were talking to him last year. Hand placement had to get better. He's got to get better, endurance, and whatever they've talked to him about. He appears to have taken it to heart. And yeah, he wants to be on that field. He wants to make an impact. So I concur. Matthew Green's salutations. Good morning, everyone. Super Bowl or bust! Exclamation point. Woo! The first woo of the show. I'm pretty sure that was. Yeah, pretty sure that was. So good morning to you, Matthew. Big Eddie, greetings and salutations, everyone. If he's hitting the weights like that and slimmed down that much, looks like McNeil taking Martin under his wing worked wonders. Yeah, I would agree. Yeah, he's definitely transformed his body physically, and not that that's not unnormal or abnormal, whatever, for a rookie to look vastly different their second year, sophomore year in the league. But in Martin's case, that the difference is staggering. If you look at the thumbnail, you can see a couple times he got on the field last year and celebrating. I mean, let's be honest. He looks like a defensive tackle there. I mean, he's got a little bit of girth around the midsection. He's got a typical NFL defensive tackle appearance. Now you look at the other side. He looks more like Aaron Donald, if you ask me. But you guys share your thoughts. All right, Brent, great salutations. Oh, Martin looks amazing. Yeah, he's really done wonders to his body. 100% with that. And good morning, by the way, Brent. Silver Surfer, good morning, Coach, and everyone. Back at you, Surfer. Hopefully having a good morning, my friend. Yankee, greetings, Coach and crew. Same to you, Robert. Hopefully you are having a Mountain Dew and kicking back. All right, Silver Surfer, weights can make people look a certain way, but strength is another thing. Strength is a natural attribute. Although there are different types of strength, let's hope he has natural strength. Well, what we do know last year is just about everyone on the team, and when he came out of the scouting combine, to be fair, took note of his massive strength, his natural given strength, along with his speed, agility, etc. But now that you've added some actual regime to it, so where he's actually polishing it up and appears to have put in a ton of work. Yeah, he looks, like I said earlier, he looks more like Aaron Donald than he does a standard NFL defensive tackle. We all get Aaron Donald was not your prototypical defensive tackle. I mean, the guy was just a weightlifting monster. He looked like, he was about ready to break people in half, and he probably could. All right, Silver Surfer. Martin has to work on explosiveness, on getting off the ball. If he can improve that, look out. Yeah, I'm with you. I don't think there's any questions about his speed and abilities and stuff. From what I remember last year from watching him, it's just you could tell he would lose leverage almost instantly on the snap because of his hand placement, because when the ball snapped, he is the defensive tackle instead of getting low and under and moving people, getting the hands under the shoulder pads or under the chest of the offensive lineman, pushing him back and displacing him. He would stand up and now push down, and that allowed offensive linemen, especially interior offensive linemen, to get underneath him and control him conversely. So I believe that's more coachable stuff. If that really is refined by now, if it's been coached up in him, you're going to be able to tell, or we're all going to be able to tell pretty quickly come the preseason games, because I do anticipate he's going to be out there just so they can work with him a lot during that time frame. If we see it there, then yeah, he might really be the real McCoy. He might be someone. He's not going to knock McNeil out of the starting lineup, I don't think, and I don't think he's going to do it to DJ Reader. But it doesn't mean he can't be a nice rotational piece with those guys and probably a fourth other option. All right, Robert, I believe the main difference between Stafford and Goff is Stafford threw a riskier pass, farther and faster velocity. Goff is much better at sustaining drives and controlling the clock. He is, and, just I wasn't going to make a video on it or anything, but the NFL News, or whatever you want to call it, in network, had a stat on Goff yesterday that I was not aware of, and I don't think I've seen it anywhere else. I guess that's why I'm not aware of it, right? That Goff, I guess, was the first player, let this sink in NFL history, or the fastest player, I should say, the fastest player in NFL history, throw for 30,000 yards and not have, I think it was 100 interceptions. So he had thrown the fewest amount of picks while achieving 30,000 yards, and he did it in the fastest time frame ever. So, I mean, being that as it is, your point, Robert, though, about Stafford versus Goff, I mean, everybody gets Stafford's got a laser for a gun for an arm. He uses it very well. We all, as Lions fans, hey, love the guy to death. Nothing but good things to say about him. But yes, at times he sometimes would throw into, probably just relied too much on that arm, and he tried to thread needles sometimes in the areas. The arm just couldn't overpower all the time. As your point about Goff, sustaining drives, yeah, he's willing, I guess you could say, to nickel and dime defenses down the field a whole lot more than Stafford, I think, innately wanted to. It just wasn't his nature as the gunslinger and such. But I think they're both very similar, other than some small details between each other. All right, Robert, can't wait for the season to start! Exclamation points. I agree with you there. Yeah, we get to next month, and then that's where I think everybody starts anticipating, because at that point you're really only a month away from training camp, etc. All right, Robert. Woo! There we go. Another woo for the morning. All right, Silver Surfer, what happened to Eduardo? You could not slip a comment in because he was all Eduardo. Where's he at? That I don't know, man. I do know in the off season, it does appear, for the time that I've run a YouTube channel, some people just, hey, the season's over. They just kind of go away for a while. So maybe just, I don't know, maybe change his work schedule. Maybe he just doesn't do stuff in this time of year. That's the stuff I can't answer. I do know, unfortunately, there are some that used to be a part of the Duke crew that are not. And you guys know, sometimes people don't always stick around forever. I guess that'd be the good way to put it. But hopefully he's okay, and hopefully once the season's back, he's back around. So, but yeah, you're a good point on that, Eduardo there, Silver Surfer. All right, Bo, what do you got? Al Bundy is doing his thing in the later shows. There we go. Is that Eduardo? All right, fair enough. All right, Susan, what do you got? Good morning, everybody. Woo! Martin is looking ripped. He is, man. He is indeed. Okay, good morning, Coach and Duke crew! Exclamation point. Goff drops back the Goff drops back the woo in the air. St. Brown is wide open. Touchdown, Lions. Grit, 100%. Yes, they do seem to really enjoy each other. You notice that when St. Brown is talking about Goff. Yeah, he did not want him gone as the quarterback. He likes him. He thinks pretty highly about him. And I would say it's reversed in nature. They both like each other and play with each other quite a bit. Big Daz, good morning, Duke crew. Glad to be here with Coach Dan and all of you. Back at you. Always appreciate you being a part of the Duke crew, Big Daz. There you go. Silver Server Brodric, you better get that behind moving, because Lions need your big butt in the middle, especially if Reader is not ready when the season starts. Yeah, I know that's going to be one of the questions about DJ Reader. Is he ready to go from opening day one? I mean, I'm guessing yes, but who knows, man? He's got a lot more time to rest up. I'm sure Lions have everybody they can working with him on recovery. But wait and see. You don't want to risk one game or two games early in the year if it's going to mean more games later in the year. So just wait and see what shakes out with him. But could Martin be ready to go? Man, that would be nice, kind of in a way, to see Brodric Martin against next to Lee McNeil out there, because those two are big athletic dudes. All right, Stephanie, good morning, boys! Exclamation point. The kids are sleeping, so I'm going to enjoy some woo coffee while listening. Well, woo coffee. There you go. Enjoy it, kick back, and I'm sure you don't get enough opportunity to relax. All right, Silver Server, man, that woo gonna wake the kids up, Stephanie. There you go. Keep your woo at a safe distance. All right, Hookadoo. Good morning, Steph. Enjoy the woo coffee. There you go. Yes, who doesn't like enjoying woo woo coffee? All right, and let's see. Robert, is Angela still band coach? Boy, I gotta remember. Yeah. I think there's only one person I've banned in here, or two. I take that back. Two. There was one person, another YouTuber, that would come in here and try to advertise their channel and stuff. And initially, I didn't have a problem with it, but then this person started having just some not so swell or delicious comments to make, and so I had to ban them. And then Angela, I do remember her. I haven't unbanned anybody, I guess you could say. So as far as I know, they're still banned. All right, Anthony, good morning, Coach and Do Crew, back at you. All right, Uncle Buzz, do you think Kobe Scoresdale will be poached from the practice squad? I don't think, Uncle, I could be wrong. I don't think he's going to be on the practice squad. But maybe, man, it is an interesting question. Could he be on the practice squad? I don't think there's any chance Manu is going to be there. Mahogany is going to be there. Could Kobe be there? Right now I'm going to go with he's probably not. I'm guessing they're going to keep 4 backups on the offensive line. Could they keep 5? I don't think so, man. That seems like a lot. But let's go with 4 backups. It'll be interesting, though. Somebody probably out of the group isn't going to make it. I'm going to say Manu makes it, because if he's on the practice squad, he's gone. Both rookies will put it on the offensive line, will make it. And then that's okay. So you got 2 backups. Yoda or Skipper or Scoresdale. Man, that's going to be a good battle there for the offensive line, because all of them can play. And obviously the Lions have faith in Skip in more than just offensive line stuff. So that's a great question there, Uncle Buzz. Could he be on the practice squad? If he does, man, I do think he'll get poached. I'm going to go with he won't be, but you never know, man. That's going to be an interesting preseason battle. Anthony, good morning, Hookadoo. There you go. Good morning to you, Anthony. Glad you're always part of the show, my friend, and thanks for all you do for the channel. All right, let's see. Hookadoo, good morning, Mr. Anthony. France, good evening, everyone. Martin looks ripped versus last year. Guy has been working out. Yes, he has. He has worked out a ton. All right, let's see. Detroit D, good morning, everyone. Go Lions, 100% D. Hope you're having a great morning, my friend, and hopefully a great weekend as well. All right, Anthony, man, they got some good deals going on for these preseason games. I think I'm going to go to the Pittsburgh game. Yeah, I'll have to check those out. It's been a while since I've been to a preseason game, but I am not aware of all the deals. So if they're good ones, then go take advantage of them when you can, because I know the costs of regular season games, especially at Ford Field, have gone up quite a bit. Just say Kate, greetings and salutations, Do Crew, exclamation point, ready for the weekend. Everybody who's working for the weekend, and now it's here. Hopefully you all enjoy it. Man Bear, yo Pride, yo Bam Bear, how you doing? Anthony, Beans, I've got a wait on my season tickets till next year. Okay, all right, got to wait for season tickets till next year. Nothing wrong with that, man. Start, saving up and getting ready for it, because it'll be here before you know it, man. All right, Mike the Marine, howdy, day in the Lions Fable. Love this show, and everybody I think in the channel, I'm pretty sure loves you too, man. So hey, glad you're always here, Gunny. All right, Hookadoo, morning, Gunny. And let's see, we got Anthony. It would be nice to get together with a tailgate tickets from 50 for 53. There you go. Yeah, to get together with tailgate tickets for 53. I know because a number of you have mentioned the tailgate. I also know a number of you have mentioned, because the cost of the games have gone up so much, not really wanting to go to the games. I'm almost wondering if there's a way we can do a tailgate and then go into one of the bars right outside Ford Field to watch the game. So I don't know. Let's Scooby-Doo that and try to kick it around. All right, Bo, tailgate. There you go. Everybody's calling for it. Quentin, greetings, salutations, y'all. TikTok people, let's get this season going. B. Martin looking ready to surprise. Yeah, I would agree with you there, Quentin, that, I think he's taking it personal from what he's putting in. He doesn't want to sit on that sideline. He does not want to get replaced. He wants to make an impact. You know what? Most people in the NFL their careers really only are 3 to 4 years. And then, the team's made a choice. We're maybe moving on to a new player or whatever. And once that starts happening, you're now scrambling for employment, especially if somebody let you go because they didn't see potential. So I'm with you. I think Brodric Martin's putting it in and trying to make sure he has a reason to still be here for future years. All right, Mike the Marine, howdy, Dookie. There you go. And to my brothers and sisters, woo! Well, howdy doody. There we go. And brothers and sisters of the woo. There we go. The woo crew. All right, Jedi Sith Music. Good morning, Duke crew. Back at you. Michael, greetings, salutations, Coach and Duke crew. One pride, 1,000%. Good morning, Michael, and glad to have you here. All right, is that still you? Good morning. Going to be a nice warm day of practice at Allen Park. Hydrate, yes. Stay hydrated. Stay good to go. And then, yeah, it's summer weather is starting to get here. All right, Steve Rogers. Good morning, gang. The captain is reporting. Well, good morning, Cap. All right, Anthony. Good morning, Broski. How's your wife and my kids today? There you go. Silver Server. Let's check that hairline, Cap. All right, check the hairline there, Cap. Lions fan number one, Anthony. LOL. Major League. Great movie. Yeah, the line, yeah, the guys at the plate, gosh, who I don't remember. I think it's the opposing guy for the other team says to him, yeah, how's your wife and my kids? Yeah, there you go. Bo, all assembled and eligible. The force is with us, 100% there. Anthony, yes, seen it, agreed. Bo, Wild Thing, great movie. Some of the sequels, not so great, but the first one was great. Hookadoo, I like that, Anthony, about the tailgate. Yeah, I think it would be fun, man. I think it'd be real fun. Anthony, you make my heart sing. There you go. Anthony, I mean, it's inexpensive, $53 a ticket. That's not bad, man. That is not bad at all, especially by today's standards. All right, Bo, you make everything. Yes, groovy. All right, Motown Mitch, good morning, Coach. Rumor on the street is Bears droll, Lions rule. Yes, the Bears drool and Lions rule. I would agree. I do think the Bears games for the Lions are going to be a pretty good matchup for both teams. I think everybody's going to want to, win those games. I do believe it's going to come down to Detroit versus Green Bay, but I also think that Chicago's probably closer to being a legit threat to both teams is probably most realized. A lot of the plays, a lot of it will just come down to Caleb Williams. How quickly does he mature as an NFL player, especially as a quarterback? The offensive line to Chicago. If they can solve those two things, the offensive line protection and Caleb Williams, growing quickly, then, yeah, they're going to be a threat to win the division, in my opinion. I just believe it's going to take a little bit of time for Caleb Williams to get going and for that offensive line to protect him. All right, Hookadoo. Is he is on a vacation for 3 days, Anthony. There you go. Yeah, I think he is on a vacation. He said something about, being out of town or something like that. I don't remember what Broski said, but I don't think he said he was going to be around this weekend. All right, Jerome, good morning, Coach. Can a guy who plays cornerback play safety, vice versa? Is that hard to do? And what's the big difference between both? Depending on where you're at in the annals of NFL timelines, usually it was just kind of a size and mass difference. Safeties usually were a little bit bigger, better at coming downhill and laying the thunder on somebody or hits on people. Cornerback, you got to have a lot more flexibility in your hips. You got to be able to recover. Your footwork needs to be exponentially better. It's just you are more of a cover person. Safeties, more run support. They're almost like hybrid linebackers that can fly, I guess would be a good way to put it if you're talking about like 70s, 80s, and 90s. But that's not so much the case anymore. I really do believe just, Jerome, looking at our own team, I think that really the day and age is coming in the NFL where safeties and corners are really basically the same people because the teams pass it so much more. 65% of all, plays on offense in the NFL are passing plays. So what you forced defenses do is to adjust. And that's why you have people like Ife Melifanu, who's a former corner who now plays safety. He covers a ton like a corner. That's what makes him tough or made him tough last year is the fact that you couldn't really get mismatches on him because he can cover. You look at Brian Branch plays safety and, slot corner. You're going to have was it a bunch of the guys on this year's team, whether it's, Arnold, Davis, Rick Straw, or whatever, they've all played some safety and some corner. Without going into all the differences, I do believe we're hitting a time where, again, the day and age of there being safeties and corners are probably at an end, and everybody just your secondary personnel. Jeff Okudah, in my opinion, would probably still be with the Detroit Lions if they taken him and basically made him a safety, somebody who can come down a hill and hit people, smash people, but still go out and cover the right people. And that's not going to be wide receiver number 1 or 2. That would be wide receiver number, probably in my opinion, 4, maybe 3 on the right team, tight ends and running backs. To me, the best he ever played would have been Swift's last year here in Detroit, when they basically, at the Dallas game, I remember it very well. I mean, he had his best game, in my opinion, of his career, because they basically played him as a weak side linebacker / safety. And he had something like 12, 13 tackles, a couple pass breakups. So again, they put him in a better position to succeed. But because he was number 3 drafted player, and he was a corner, they kept trying to force him, in my opinion, the prior regime, the current regime, into being a number 1 or 2 corner. And that's just not what he is. He just does not have that kind of flexibility or bend in his hips. And all right, going on enough about that, but you get the gist. All right, Anthony, groovy, 100%. Yes, it is going to be groovy. Robert, the blue do crew of destiny. There you go. I like that. It's not bad. Anthony, wild thing. I think I love you, 100%. Mike DeMarine is thumbing up. Yep. Brent, I hope this defense can flirt with a top 10 rating. This is AG's year to put up or shut up, considering all the talent we brought in. Yeah, I think there's a large majority, Brent, of the fan base that says, man, he just hasn't done anything here. The defense has looked meh at best. The one thing I will say in AG's defense, or at least, food for your guys' thoughts, you come up with your own conclusions. You look at all the drafts or off seasons here. The vast majority of the talent brought in were on the offensive side. And conversely, the offense looks pretty good. This is really, in my opinion, the first time they've done a ton in an offseason to try to do some work or improvements to the defense. So to your point, I agree. AG needs to really see a noticeable increase in performance out of the defensive side of the ball, and that will include Brodric Martin for sure. Otherwise, that's going to raise some eyebrows. The people are going to question why. Because DJ Reader, Carlton Davis III, Terrion Arnold, Marcus Davenport. Well, I do think he's going to have a pretty good year, by the way, as long as he stays healthy. Rick Straw, I mean, you get it. They brought in Jack Campbell, Martin last year, Brian Branch. You now have had a couple guys who have been brought in that should make some plays. And I do think Brian Branch is going to skyrocket this year. He's going to be a player. All right, Rocky, good morning, all. Good morning, Rock. How you doing? Anthony, I believe it will be Brent top. I believe top L. Okay, believe it will be Brent top 15. Okay, I believe it will be Brent top 15. And believe it will be top 15. Anyways, I believe it will be top 15 anyways. All right, Anthony, I'm going to go out on a limb here and think you might be shooting for our defense to be roughly a top 15 defense. Messing with you, man. All right, Patrick, what do you got? Greetings and salutations to you all. Does anyone remember the Jim Schwartz era and the disaster of a draft pick named Titus Young? Yes, I do. And I hope I'm wrong with this, but you want to talk about CTE, I'm going to guess he had it. I think he had it bad. I mean, there might be other factors in play for sure, but yeah, it was too bad because he was a very talented player, but it just seemed like he fell apart from a mental and emotional standpoint almost overnight. Something happened that just triggered, and you could see how fast the team moved on from him. Yeah, hopefully he's okay, but I have not heard anything about him for some time. All right, Dunk Super Bowl or bust 100%, Donkey, and thank you for every morning reminding us the destination of this team. All right, Dunk Brad Holmes, best GM ever. I would agree with that. Brent Titus had serious mental issues. Correct. Yeah, something happened with him, and whether it was CTE or whatever, I don't know. But it just the team couldn't get away from it. Just something happened where all of a sudden they were like, man, we're done. We're out of here. Yeah, they got away from him real quick. Here's Johnny. Greetings and salutations. Back at you. Kara, Brodric did the Aleem diet. It appears too. Yes, I know they've been hanging out a lot. So, yeah, it does appear that they've worked out together. Donkey, Martin might be okay. Levi is a bust. Man, I hope not for Levi's sake. He did very well from a statistical standpoint and rankings, I should say, standpoint on the team last year, but on very limited snaps. Garrett, good morning, Duke Crew. Back at you. All right, Robert, let's all meet at Dan's house and watch all Lions games this year. Please ask Jen. I will throw that possibility at Jen and see what she has to say. I'll let you guys know. All right, Phil, greetings and salutations. Back at you, Philly. Hopefully having a great morning. Burger time. Hey, burger time. Good morning, Dan. Good morning, Bergs. How you doing? Hey, good to see you on the show, my friend. I know you've had the change in work shifts. So good to see you this morning. Anthony, good morning, Berg. There you go. Berg, good morning, Hookadoo, Matt, and Anthony. All right, there you go. Rocky Martin hopefully will be fine. He just needs time to slow the game down, as they say. Things are a little fast for him and his young age. Let him develop. Agreed, man. Not everybody's ready overnight. Some people take a little time. All right, Hookadoo, Bird time. What up? It's been a while. Go Lions, 100%. Southwest Lion, talk about another one. All right. Hey, good to see you in the chat. Good morning, all. Love what Jared Goff had to say at his presser. Even though the audio was horrible, I believe him when he says how much Detroit means to him, how much he wants to win a Super Bowl. Yeah, I'm with you there, Southwest. I do believe he's totally in it with this season. This team, this city, all the above, man. It's probably going to be with him the rest of his life. Those moments, that feeling, those months after the trade where he just feels like he was kicked to the curb. You're sent to Detroit, and it's no disrespect to the Lions or anything, but let's be also fair and honest. You went from LA Super Bowls, etc., a Super Bowl contender, to the Detroit Lions, which at that point, Detroit Lions, man, they might as well have been the Cleveland Browns for Major League. They were that bad. And yeah, I'm sure he just had to feel like, life's over, career's over, all that kind of stuff. But a funny thing happened. The Detroit Lions weren't as bad as everybody thought. They did, sort of like in Major League. Revitalized the team, revitalized his career. And I don't remember the catcher's name in the movie Major League, but kind of like him, got one more shot. And you know what? I think Jared Goff's really going to forever remember what the fans have done for him, those chants, the coaching staff, the front office, the whole team rallied around him and each other, to be fair, not just one person. And yeah, it's going to be, I believe, a really fun season to watch this year. All right, Anthony, I believe it will, Brent, top 15 anyways. Right, some of these players need to develop. They need more time. Everybody's not the same. It'll be nice if they could walk in and be Laporta or Gibbs. Yeah, it would be, but as probably anybody, like you're saying, Anthony, that's watched the NFL for a while knows that most rookies don't do that. Most do take time. Burger time. Yes, went back to day shift at work. There you go. Yeah, I know you mentioned something about that. Miles Marker, good morning. Finally made a Saturday morning show. Hiya, burger time. There you go. Hiya. And see, Southwest players develop at different rates and speeds. If he looked off in year three, if he took off in year three, I think it would have been sooner if it weren't for the injuries. Yeah, I agree with that. Injuries played a factor in Iffy Melifondo's development. Mike the Marine, just reading the chat this morning, and I'm a little disappointed due to the lack of reports. Do your part. There you go. Yeah, I do want to preface this. Not everybody is a fan of the woo, but obviously a few of us are. All right, Anthony, I placed a $50 bet on plus 12,000 Lions Super Bowl win. Let's hope it pays off for you, man. I don't know how that all works, but I'm going to guess you'd make a couple bucks. Miles Barker, darn sun coming up early now. Woo! 100%. Yes, it does. It is that time of season. Big Daz, let's hope Martin can come in and sub in certain circumstances. Yeah, I believe he will, man. I'm guessing at least he's going to be a rotational piece. Patrick, Brodric has the potential of being close to another Ndamukong soon, a beast and fast. Yeah, he does have a lot of the same physical traits without question. So hopefully, yeah, he can do something with that. All right, Berg time. Good morning, mile marker. There you go. Hookadoo. Here, Gunny. Woo! There you go. Good morning. Let's see. Southwest line improvement isn't just for the players, it's for the coaches too. Yes. And with every passing season, I would hope every game, the coaching staff will keep developing. Something to pay attention to this morning. All right. I promised you guys a little bit of an update on some of the, salary cap stuff. So, all right, let me go ahead and get this up here. All right. Okay, as Over the Cap is reporting, the Lions' upcoming season, they will have 203 million in salary cap commitments for their 51 most expensive players. That makes them the 22nd highest salary team in the NFL. So there's a whole lot of teams that have spent more than us. That's incredible considering what all we've done. Plus, the organization possesses the fourth most dead cap space in the league at, we'll just say 31 million. So Lions still have some salary cap to play with. And I know I'm bringing this up because some of you have mentioned, could they reduce Goff's numbers even more this year by augmenting or moving some of the guaranteed money to this year? Yes, that could happen. Even though, as I'm sure we're all aware of at this point, Goff's contract is incredibly team friendly for the next 2 seasons. After that, they're going to have to make some adjustments for sure, or potentially renegotiate the contract. Although 3 years from now, think about what he's going to get paid and what percentage of the cap that will projectedly be when the cap goes up probably 10 to 13% every season. No surprise here. Jared Goff, number one on the team in salary command with, we'll just say 27 million. Taylor Deckard at 19. Frank Ragnow just a shade under 13. Cam Sutton no longer with the team. So until that, whatever it is, July, potentially the Lions can recoup those funds, but still he's just over 12.5 million. Aiden Hutchinson just under 10 million. Right tackle Panay Sewell just over 8 million. Ancelone 7.5 million. Montgomery just under 7 million. Kevin Zettler just under 6 million, etc. So I won't bore you with everything. DJ Reader just over, he's number 10 at just over 5 million. So Lions still have, by my math, somewhere around 25, 24 million in cap space available. Could they still go out and get Calais Campbell, bring down Goff's numbers more, go out and get somebody else still for the team? Yes, they could. But real quick, I promised you a cap update, and there it is. All right, Mike the Marine, thank you, brother. There you go. Hookadoo, good morning, mile marker. Day, he went from Aileen McNeil to Aileen McNeil. Ha ha. Oh, come on. That's funny. There you go. Good one, Day. Mile marker. Morning, Hookadoo. There you go. Bird time. Let's go, Lions. Unfinished business. Woo! Glad to have you back here, buddy. Glad you're back. I know you got to work mornings, but, hey, glad you can make it in when you can. All right, Southwest. Well, clearly, Brodric Martin wants to be better. Looking better is one component, but there's also strength, flexibility, durability. Instead, interested to see how it goes with him this year. Yeah, he could be. I mean, if he really plays anywhere where we think he potentially could be, just start thinking about that defensive line. Could it be potentially at times one of those guys gets moved to defensive end? I mean, that would be a massive defensive front if you're going to put, say, Hutchinson at 6'7" and whatever he weighs, and then DJ Reed or Lee McNeil, maybe Brodric Martin or somebody else on the other side, at least from time to time. That would be something. Matthew, what do you got? Martin is strong? Yes, I would agree with that. I think he is very, very strong. Big Daz, hope he plays like Aaron Donald. Man, we'd all be thrilled if that was the case. All right, Anthony, that would be sweet. Way sweet. Dude, sweet. Berg time. This is the year, ladies and gentlemen. Super Bowl or bust. Woo! 100%. I agree. Matthew, what's he lifting? How much? That I don't know. I couldn't answer that for you. I don't have that information, unfortunately. And I believe Scoresdale needs more time also. Yeah, probably. And he was brought in for a reason. There was some reason why the scouting department and the coaching staff all identified both of these guys, Scoresdale, Martin, or whatever. So you have to give at least some faith to them all that they were probably correct, and that whatever it was that drew them to those players, they can coach up, develop, get something in return for that. And they haven't given up on him. No, me neither. I think, he'll be fine in time given the track record of this coaching staff. All right, Rocky, never said this before. The Lions are developing a few good players for other teams to gobble up after cuts good and sad. Yes, and I know we've been talking about it since the end of the regular season. I didn't think we were going to keep 7 players, drafted players on this team, just because there's no spots to put them. And the front office was probably aware of that. That's why, at least I know a lot of us talked about it, that potentially Lions would have to make trades to move up and get rid of some of the draft picks. Because anybody we bring in, if they make the practice squad, they're going to get got real quick. And that's a sign of respect from other teams that they've identified how, what you do well. You identify talent and talent that you believe you can change into NFL players. That also being said, we're going to have 6 rookies this year. I did not think we would have that many. I was thinking 4 was my number going into the draft. We're going to get rid of some draft picks. We're going to have 4 players. You're going to keep them, be able to hide them on the 53-man roster while you develop some of these guys. That obviously isn't the case. This team is so deep, though, to your point, Rock, that whoever gets cut, and the first cut, second cut, and especially the third cuts, they're going to be on more than likely, I'm guessing, NFL rosters within hours. All right, Anthony, don't forget about that $10 million that we're going to get from don't forget about the $10 million from the Sutton thing. Yeah, and I don't know if, and maybe you guys know, I just do not know. I stopped paying attention to the Cam Sutton news. I know the last thing I remember is that because the situation with his legal representation and everything been down to a misdemeanor, might even get pleaded out of court. If that happens, there was at least some speculation that the Lions could be on the hook for Cam Sutton's deal. I have no idea if that's still accurate. You guys or somebody probably knows where that situation is at. I just don't know. Hopefully the Lions get it all back. I just haven't kept up on it, so apologies. All right, Southwest. Dan, what are your thoughts on the best types exercise and diet to improve strength, flexibility, VO2 max levels for improving player performance? Boy, this is definitely more Jen's wheelhouse, because that's, when she's not teaching, she actually does work with athletes on training conditioning. I mean, being an old school coach, I would joke with her, we didn't have trainers back in the day. Coaches had to do it all, be it the psychologist, the trainer, the coach. So real quick, just when it comes to football stuff, it depends on each position, what you want to target. So what I would have a cornerback and receiver focus on for strength, it's going to be vastly different than the offensive defensive line. So I guess maybe during the offseason, we can try to do a little bit more deep dive Southwest on different positional stuff. Vertimaxes, if you guys don't know what that is, you can Google it. But I'm a big proponent, especially at the collegiate level or the professional level. If you have any kind of speed-based position, so running back, I guess you could throw quarterbacks in there if they're mobile, receivers, linebackers, yes, because you do want them to be explosive. You want to get those guys, those people, I should say, on those things for, if you can, man, 15 to 30 minutes a day. Because if you do that, if you get in your solid 15 on a Vertimax and you're doing it correctly, you will, without question, in my experience, and I've used those things since the early 2000s, maybe the late 90s, you will shave, if somebody who's never used it before, you will shave probably 0.2, maybe 0.3 of a second off their 40 time within a few months. You'll see their vertical leap go up probably, and it's going to be different with everybody, so don't write this down and say, well, you said they would go up, whatever. But on a rule of thumb, I would say your vertical leap's probably going up about 5, 6, maybe in rare cases 8 inches if you really commit to those things. And again, this is somebody who hasn't used them before. They're a complete pain in the butt. If you do not know what a Vertimax is, basically it was designed for the space shuttles back in the day, long time ago. As we all know, weights don't mean jack in space because there's no gravity. So you have these machines like Vertimaxes where astronauts would use. Basically, it's a resistance endurance machine, a platform. You put it down. All these ropes, bands are hooked up to, your arms, your legs, your hips, whatever part of your body. The more you move, the more it contracts. So the more your body has to exert itself just to maintain that same level you were doing, a couple seconds earlier. And it just burns the body out. And if you can do it for long, prolonged periods of time, yeah, absolutely notice massive differences. The problem is suiting up takes, I don't know, 5 to 8 minutes. Then unsuiting takes about that amount of time. So if you're a school that only has a couple of these things, it's really not beneficial a ton because you have such a limited amount of time during say an NCAA practice time where you can get people in and out on the day. So like when I was coaching at Western Michigan University, I want to say we had like 8 or 10 of them. So if there it made sense because you could have, let's just say 10, you got 20 people out there working out while other people working on stuff. If you only got 1 or 2, it's tough. But check those out. Went on way too long about that. All right, Anthony, Talk to Tech sucks. Yes, it is. It's not where it's going to be probably in the future. Matthew drops staff by Martin. There you go. Drops staff by Martin. Fair enough. And let's see, Mark, the NFL needs to put the player's name and number to the team on the Titantron or the scoreboard. That way there's no second guessing from referees because a certain player is checking in. I do wonder, because of what happened in Dallas last year, have they done something to try to augment that? It doesn't sound like it. Basically just sound like, the Lions, the NFL try to put the blame back on Detroit saying, hey, you try to be tricky with this. You trick the referee, go from there. So I don't know. Probably off the record stuff. The league and the teams all talked about it. Once the spotlight of the moment kind of dimmed down a little bit. All right, let's see, Miles. My slappy prediction for the season is 15-2, but that relies on Martin and other newbies kicking in this year. Can always dream. Hey. 15-2 would be no joke, man. I'd take that in a heartbeat. 14-3, I'd take in a heartbeat, man. So I'm going to make that happen. Southwest Line, whatever anyone thinks about the amount spent on extensions for St. Brown, Sewell, Goff, it's cool that each got their extension prior to the start of the season. There are 3 of the leaders. No, and I agree, man. You look at how teams generally dole out salaries and where the bigger contracts go. Most teams cannot saddle more than, I would say, 8 or 9 big contracts. And, obviously at some point those big contracts start getting a lot less big as you go down that 8 or 9 list. But I'm going to guess if you were going to Scooby-Doo it and think of an ideal platform, you're going to say quarterback's always going to be near the top. Probably offensive lineman, a tackle is going to be near the top. Wide receiver is going to be near the top. My anticipation going forward is that you're probably going to see defensive end, Aiden Hutchinson, be near the top, probably defensive tackle near the top, and that would be Aleem McNeil, potentially. And if he has another really, really good season this year, you're going to see him get paid. It's just hard to find dudes like him. And then probably a cornerback. After that, man, it just comes down to things. You're going to have to keep drafting well to keep the band going, though, because at some point, we all know it's coming. You're not going to be able to keep everybody, and that's going to be the tough part. So is what it is. Enjoy it while we got it. You have faith in the coaching staff in the front office, the scouting department to keep being able to replace people because you're going to have to. That's why in the NFL, it's not like the NBA where teams can have a 5 to 8 to 10 year window. Maybe some baseball teams do that too, or hockey teams. But in the NFL, I really do think most teams have a 2 to 3 year window. That's why when you see Kansas City or San Francisco go on a half-decade run, those are pretty rare. So hopefully we're the next ones to do it, though. All right, Paper Bag fan, greetings, salutations, everyone. Woo! Now I'm awake. There you go. Well, good morning, Paper Bags. Mike DeMarine, great to hear Frank Ragnow tell everyone that he never thought of retiring, just wanted the body to heal. He also said it's been an amazing offseason for his health and workouts. He will help Martin too. Woo! There you go. And yes, he's going to help out Martin. Martin's going to help out him. It's good to see the team be strong in certain areas because that will help the other side, the opposing side, get even more developed. Mark, that definitely going to be an interesting season. Yes, it is definitely going to be an interesting season. I would agree with that, Mark. Southwest, it is going to really be competitive for roster spots at the bottom of the roster. One thanks for sure with the NFL. If you're not getting better year by year, you're getting passed. Yeah, and you're probably out of the league. So I would think most players are aware of that because every year you're bringing in a new draft class that's going to push out. If you bring in, 249 guys in the league, probably 249 guys have to leave the league. So there is that. Miles love Rags. He's got the attitude right from the get-go. He's all line. He wants, he proved that last year in the playoffs. As beat up and knocked down as he wasn't getting off the field for nothing. Yeah, he's been through the bad times. He wants these good times. All right, Ogadoo, my marker. On a side note with that, I do want to throw this out there. I had totally forgotten that Jonah Jackson did not play in the NFC Championship game because of a knee or whatever. And I do wonder, as beat up as he got last year, and I know he missed a couple games because of a finger, I do wonder if that played a factor in him getting, quote unquote, replaced last year. So just a thought. It seems very DeAndre Swift-like to me. All right, Hookadoo, my Margaret, do you know dreams can come true? Go Lions. 100%. They can, man. They can come to pass. And let's hope. We're all hoping for the big dream this year. Let's see. Detroit Zoo Polar Bear. Coach Dan, I knew it was coming, but I am upset about the number of Sunday night football, Monday night football, and Thursday night football games Lions have. It doesn't work for me to watch those games live. Dang, greedy NFL. Everybody wants a part of the Detroit Lions, so that is the byproduct of it, is you're going to see a lot of primetime games coming our way, probably this year in the foreseeable future, assuming we maintain everything, because you know what? We got a bunch of personalities on this team and the coaching staff. At least right now, the world loves the Detroit Lions. At some point, you do it long enough, then you'll see people wanting to see you fall down. All right, let's see, Patrick. It's been a very long time since I've been to a game. Last time was a Monday night game with, Eric Hipple first start. Now I'm too old and crotchety to make the long drives from the person area. Yeah, that's a bit of a throwback to Eric Hipple's time. That has been a while, man. I hope you're doing okay, my friend, by the way. Let's see. Matthew, Thanksgiving Day game is a win this year. I'll put it in the books, man. Brent Ragnow sticking around was the best news of the week. He's our dog in the middle of the offensive line. 100%. Yeah, and I don't think, based on what he said this week, he's going anywhere anytime soon. Miles, I'm too noisy for bars. People around here ain't used to happy yelling for Lions. There's some people that. So Main Street Pub in Portage, Michigan, I would go to quite a long time for years to watch games with some friends of mine. And yeah, there's some people in that bar that they're Lions fans, but they yell and scream, because it's almost like they want to see the Lions lose, even though the Lions fans. And then they have other people telling them to shut up and everything because they're cheering for even the bad plays for the Detroit Lions. So funny how it all works out at times. All right, Southwest Brent, 100%. I'm happy to hear that from Ragnow. There you go. I'll go with that. Yes. Amy, Dan and Duke crew, exclamation point. Have a great day, exclamation point. Super Bowl or a bust. Amy, have a good morning and hopefully having a great weekend. Mark, DM, Jared Goff for Lions is now like what Aaron Rodgers was to Green Bay Packers. For how high of a paid quarterback he is, go Lions. Yeah, and hey, it's unavoidable unless quarterbacks are going to get paid. The only thing I can say is, at least from everything I know about the contract, he took one for the team. He kept the costs down at the position for the next couple of years. After that, I do get the last 2 years of the league, contract jump exponentially. The last year is a team-controlled year. Second to last year of the contract, my guess gets reworked before we even hit it, but that's a guess. Obviously, don't know. Matthew, Fields is a better quarterback, and Williams is a bust. We'll have to wait and see. There are some concerns I have with Caleb Williams, and again, as a USC fan, it's hard for me to say, but we'll see what shakes out. Motown Mitch, one thing we know for sure is Bear will lead the league in painted fingernails on quarterback tiers. There you go. I'd say there's a good chance that could happen, Motown. Southwest, watched Any Given Sunday last night. One of my favorite quotes from the coach played by Al Paticcio. All comes down to today, and we will heal as a team or crumble inch by inch, play by play. Yeah, I know exactly the speech you're talking about. Yes, that was a good movie and had some real good moments in it. Mark, Quarterback Detroit. There you go. Patrick, I think our new defense will be too much for anyone in our division to overcome, and pretty much the rest of the NFL. I do wonder when that defense is on and it's going, how teams will attack it and try to adjust to it. They're all going to find holes in your armor. I don't care what system you run, but I think just being the more assertive team is going to put you in a lot more favorable positions. Mark, quarterback Jared Goff is like Aaron Rodgers of the Green Bay. Yes, I would agree. In some respects, at least in some respects. Southwest, wouldn't be surprised to see Justin Fields become the starter in Pittsburgh. Yeah, that could totally happen. Berg time. Hutch and Aleem will knock Caleb's nail polish off after all the sacks. That could be. They could, maybe take some nail polish remover and take it off his fingernails. There you go. Motown, the 3-1-3 defense, 3 and out, 1 pride, 3 dominant, destroy, 3 defend, dominate, and destroy. There we go. The 3 Ds. Randy Q, what up, peeps? What up with you? How you been? It's been a minute, man. Mark, I think all of our football from NFL down to high school football players have to check in the verses following a referee. That way everybody knows what when that football player is in the game. It could be, yeah, definitely. Randy Q, green salutations, do crew. Back at you, Randy Q. Miles, hiya, Rannings. There you go. Rannings back from Jamaica. Wow, Martin looks good like McNeil. Yeah, he really looks like he's put in a lot of effort to get his body into that shape. Miles, I predict that Aaron Glenn is going to reshape the third quarter defense and woo us all. There you go. Southwest Dan, I've been an AG critic, but I think he tried to make adjustments last year. I would agree. The defense became more aggressive later in the season, creating more turnovers. He has better personnel this year. Yeah, and that's why I'm thinking if they keep the same schematics they did from later in the year with better personnel and some more adjustments by the coaching staff, yeah, you'll probably see more continued growth. Matthew Morningberg, there you go. Brent, that would be great miles marker. Neat cap biting with the Motor City Lions. Good morning, all. Good morning to you. Good morning, Brent. All right. Levi Ozarie cannot stay on the field. Barely a flash in the pan. 3 years, limited snaps and productivity. Jeff Okuda at defensive end. Well, maybe that's what they should have done with Okuda is move him to defensive end. Just saying, throwing a thought out there. Mark, good morning, Lions fans. Bay City here. Good morning to you, Mark. Hey, Ed, good morning, Coach of Duke Crew. Wow, a lot of drinking the Kool-Aid this time of year. Lions are a solid 10-17. Could be, man. I'm hoping for about 12 wins myself. We'll see what happens. Kneecap biting Major League catcher Jake Taylor. There you go, Jake Taylor. Yeah, that name that will live in infamy. Hoogadoo, do you know what Goff will never in his life forget the fans chanting his name, Go Lions? No, that's going to stick with him and his family probably the rest of his life, man. That's some cool stuff. Mom Marker, good morning. Good morning to you at Mark. There you go. Patrick, I remember when the NFL championship came down to be between Cleveland and Detroit. Both teams went into the dumpster. Now both teams are on the rise. Big time. Hey, things go in cycles, right? And glad to see them both back. Bergs, Jake Taylor, 100%. Jason, good morning, all! Exclamation point. Got to get to on the river today. The jet ski of destiny. There you go. It's a Honolulu blue and silver Sea-Doo GTX 300 Superdome or bust! Exclamation point. We'll have fun on the river, Jason. Patrick, okay, I'll just jump in for the first time with a woo! There you go, Patrick. There you go. I hope you enjoyed it. Kneecaps, plus 12,000, 1,200, one payout ratio. There you go. Hookadoo, good job, Patrick. Woo! There you go. Good morning, everybody. Kneecaps, what our coaches need to improve upon in second half adjustments? What our coaches need to adjust upon? I think throughout the game, they seem to come out with real good scripts at the start of the games. It's only when they're caught off guard by something, say sort of like Green Bay caught us off guard on Thanksgiving Day game. Both offense and defense sides of the football with the coaching staff, I thought, struggled a little bit. Now, I do think in that game, AG made faster adjustments than Ben Johnson did. But again, I've said this on the channel a lot. I think a lot of it just comes down to the more experience they accumulate, the faster these adjustments will happen. I'm gonna, everybody gets this third quarter. Both of our offense and defense coordinators need to make in-game adjustments faster. You don't have another halftime to wait. You got to come up with answers live and in real time. All right, Patrick, I'm glad I don't have to be the one to cut players this year. That's going to be tough. Yeah, I would agree. You're going to see a lot of good guys get the pink slip. All right, 9 drinks. Woo! Good morning, 9 drinks. Kneecaps, what do you got? Did it happen? They lowered Goff's overall cap hit to $27.2 million. This savings $5 million in cap room. Yes, it will save $5 million, and I do think there's some potential it'll come down even more. Mark, Lions Nation, check in. Have fun this morning. 100%. Everybody have a good time. Kneecap biting. Brodric Martin lost a lot of body fat and worked at getting his body yoked. He did, man. You see that photo. He's a different man. Motown Broski Bear must be hiding, scared today. No, he said something yesterday. At least I think it was yesterday, where he was going to be gone for the weekend. So, we'll see him again, I'm sure, next week. Moonscar, good morning, everyone. Good morning to you too. Sleeping in, huh? Paul, Lions have 31 million in cap space after Goff signing. Could be. All right. Thanks for that update, Paul. Thank you very much. Kneecaps. What most people do not realize is that Martin was a 4-3 defensive end / defensive tackle at CC his first 2 years in college. Yeah, he was definitely a space eater, and now he may be a space mover. Hookadoo. Motown is on vacation. Motown, he is on vacation for 3 days. I think it's a troll. It could be, man. Bo, I believe Broski is at Charleston. Yeah, that's what he said, for a vacation. There you go. Yeah, Charleston. All right, Moonscar stopped at the Stadium Liquors last night and picked up a fifth of Lions 1800 tequila. Well, hopefully he told him, hey, go Lions. All right, Moonscar and Hookadoo. There you go. Hookadoo, I think you're right, Bo. I remember him saying that. Yes, I agree. Motown, say, dang, all that wasted bear trash talk. Yeah, well, hey, just recycle it for next week, man. Hookadoo, Moonscar, enjoy the tequila. There you go. Detroit, don't cut players, need to go through waivers. They do. And yeah, whoever had the worst record last year or currently in the league would have first dibs at it. Don the Chicago Teddy Bears. There you go. Or Frank's Red Hot saucing. Bird time, I got thrown out of Dave's Busters during first Lions-Bears game for cheering so loud. Giants crowd didn't like it. Yeah, skip them. 100% with that. Skip them. Hookadoo, Bergs, you are freaking kidding. No. I live in New York. There you go. Bird time. I did go nuts in the defense. There you go. Bird time, 12 wins here. I'll go with that. Hookadoo, I will suggest moving to Mitchburg. There you go. Eric, calling it now 14 in 3 seasons. I like the way you're thinking, Eric. Burger time. I do like it in Mitch, but in my career, he is here plus my Yankees. There you go. Yeah, the Yankees are there. Miles, Hookadoo, troll convention. Haha, Burger time. I love it that Eric, let's go Lions, can't wait for the season. Nah, it'll be here super fast. All right, guys, it's been over an hour. Time for me to check on out, go hit the gym, get ready for work today, all that kind of stuff. And hey, thanks for all you do, Michael. Thank you. Woo! Hey, that was a bad one. Woo! There you go. A little better. All right, guys. If there's some breaking news later today, I'll get it over to you as quick as I can. If you haven't yet subscribed to Lions Talk Live, please consider doing so. And also, if you would take just a brief second of time, hit that thumbs up button. It helps the channel out. That I'd be very thankful. Take care. Enjoy your day. We'll see you all in the next Lions Talk Live. See you, everybody.